Hello, in this video we're going to look at the spam options that you have on Outlook 365. Now they're actually quite easy to use. If we, for instance, don't like an email, we can right click and you'll see there's a set of junk mail options. And the main one is block sender. Now if I choose block sender, this email will be removed and sent to the spam folder. There it goes. But you can also use the junk mail options to set up what we call safe senders. And that means their emails will not go to the spam folder, even if they're seen as possible spam by the system. And that's the option here, never block sender. If you wish to protect the entire domain name of a email address, then you can choose the next one, never block sender's domain. Now all the clever stuff is being done by this option at the bottom, junk mail options. First thing you have is the option to set your filtering. So this is automatic filtering by Outlook to put things in the spam folder. No obviously does none. Low looks for the obvious ones. High is quite harsh, and you will find some emails that are legitimate will be put in the spam folder. And safe lists only tells the system to work on the safe lists. Now I wouldn't choose this option to permanently delete suspected junk mail, because you'll never have a second chance then to pick up an email that you really wanted to see. But I will recommend the other two. Disable links is very useful because it stops all those links on a suspicious email, which means you can't just click on the link and go to the phishing page and cause yourself problems. You may have noticed just then an email came in, the system decided it was junk and off it went to the junk email box. The last section warned me about suspicious domain names and email addresses. This is a test that's been done by Outlook. It's seeing where the email is coming from, and if the links are somewhere completely different, it can be suspicious of that and send you a warning. The warning appears by the link on the header. So what we end up now is a group of lists here. The safe senders list will have a list of all the people that you have declared as safe senders. Now you can add them manually using the add button, and you can add them as an email at domainname.com or whatever, so you get the full email address, and that only protects the email address specifically given. And that's what you would get if you did the right click. You can, though, set the safe senders to be the whole domain name. And again, that option is available via the right click. So instead of email address at domain name, it will help all domain names, email addresses from a domain name, to be put in to your inbox and not taken away and put in the spam folder. Safe recipients is similar to safe senders, so I don't not confuse things. I always just deal with the safe senders. The other thing I have ticked down here though is also trust emails from my contacts. So rather than having to add all my contacts to this list, anything in my contacts record is automatically going to be trusted. Where you spend most of your time is the block senders list. Now for that right click option on an email, you can block an email address. You can't block a domain name with a right click option. Therefore, if you wish to block an entire domain name, you need to click on the add button and put in the domain name. As you see from the examples given below, you can have email address at domainname.com to block, or you can block an entire domain name. Now just be careful that if you are blocking domain names en masse, that you haven't just blocked the domain name of one of the big email sender services that you may wish to receive emails from other people, like Infusionsoft or Constant Contact, etc. After saying that, I'd like to point out that email services like Constant Contact, Infusionsoft, the big guys, are good at removing you from the list when you hit the unsubscribe button. You probably won't want to use the unsubscribe button for a lot of these suspicious looking emails, because that's a usual way that they use to confirm you really exist. If you hit the unsubscribe button, they know now you're a real person. The last feature of the safe senders and block senders list is the ability to import and export files. Now, these files are simply text files with an email address or a full domain name on each line. So they're very easy to add and edit. And I've used this before to take files off an old PC and put on a new one. Or when I started my new laptop, I have a notebook laptop and I have a heavy laptop that I use in the office. So when I wanted to take the little laptop out and read the emails, I could import and export the file. So that just brings on to another situation. If you are reading your emails from different locations, i.e. you receive them to your desktop, but you can also check them on your mobile, obviously this action of moving emails from the inbox to the spam folder is only going to work on this machine here with these rules when this machine has its Outlook running. If Outlook is closed on this machine, then those spam messages are going to be staying in the inbox. Now, of course, that only applies to people who are using the ability to share their emails across other people with active contacts and with the IMAP services. If you're using SMTP, you'll be downloading each individual service, so those rules won't apply. But if you are sharing emails through multiple systems through something like IMAP, then don't rely on your desktop PC to be putting things in the junk mail folder if it's not running. But I think that about covers everything. No, it doesn't. One final thing, international. You can actually block top level domains. So if you decide that you don't want to do business with anyone in Russia and you want to block the .ru to stop all the spam emails coming from there, you can use this option. I would say, unless you're having big problems with a country sending you lots of spam, I would avoid these things, unless, of course, you only sell into one country. But remember that any business could be a .com, so that's not a good one to cover. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the next video.
For more info, visit wpbusinessclub.com.